in the chat. No, by the look.
Rogers.
But we are live. Welcome, everyone. It's the WrestleMania 37 panel show. Predictions, discussion, intrigue, mystery, romance. Well, maybe not romance, although Jason and Rachel are both here, so you never know. Oh, we have suddenly got 4 people in the chat, so hopefully, no, you're not live, says Rod. Oh, but now he says evening. Hopefully we're live now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get it up on my TV, but I will. Actually, no, I'm not going to do it that way, because...
sounds a bit rude.
You're not allowed to be rude while you're at Patty's, Jason. Just remember that. Smack your bum. Oh God, I can't find myself. Rodders says we are live now. That's fine. Okay, good. So, welcome everyone. WrestleMania 37. We're going to be predicting both nights tonight, so we've got a lot to get through. And Funko Collector United Kingdom, Andrew is in as well. Good evening, Rodders and Andrew. And he says, good evening, you bunch of wrestling reprobates or retrobates. So introducing the panel, as they always are Rach Kappa. Hi, Rach.
Hiya.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Good. We've got the Night Owl, Vicky. Hi, Vicky. How you doing?
Doing not too bad. Good to see you.
Excellent. And last but not least, live from his parents' living room. It's not suitable for Mum, Jason Clow. Jason, you're...
Hello. Yeah, I'm all right. I don't know about the internet, but yeah.
Well, you seem to be all right. It's passable at the moment, so just keep your fingers crossed. Right. So, welcome to the panelists. Welcome to anyone who comes in at any point in the evening. Joshua Brown has just come in the chat. Good evening, Joshua. We talked a little bit about NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver before we came on, so we're not really going to discuss that here because that's just going to make this quite a long evening. But to very quickly summarise, I thought it was a brilliant 2-night event and enjoyed pretty much all of it. Finn Hart is in the chat. Hello, and Andrew, no swearing at his mum's house. No, he'll have to go and sort of recite half the Bible, I think, if he swears while he's at his mum's, old Jason. Yeah, but that's strict parenting for you. Right, so before we get going with WrestleMania 37, if he's got the results in front of him, and I think he has, look, Jason's going to let us know how we did for our fast lane prediction. So I'll hand it over to Jason for a moment.
Okay, apologise for the background noise, folks. My mum and dad are watching TV. Right, okay, so it was a bit of a mixed bag on that one on fast lane. Vicky, I'm afraid to say, my love, you only got 4.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like a life depends on it, Jace.
No. But Jimmy, you got 5.
I think that's more than what I've got for Elimination Chamber, so I'm happy.
I think so, yeah. And me and Rach, we got a grand total of 7.
Wow, 7 each.
Wow.
Yep. And I have the current, should we say, standings as they are. Vicky has 8. Jimmy, you have 11. And me and Rach have 13.
All right. Okay. So a bit of a change in the overall leaderboard, but it's still pretty early days. There's a lot of WrestleMania matches to get through. So, this is where anything could happen, really, predictions-wise, I think. But, well done to Rach and Jet. I nearly called you Jess then. Rach and Jess.
Hello. Hey, up, lad.
No, she's not from Yorkshire, but I know what you're going for. Rach and Jason for winning, joint winning the fast lane predictions. So WrestleMania is over 2 nights. Now, what a thought, and hopefully you've got it. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter if you've got it written down in a different way, Rach, but I was hoping we could maybe tackle night 1 first and then night 2 afterwards. But if you'd rather do it another way, whatever's easiest for you, then just let me know.
Oh, hang on, she's gone.
Oh, and Rachel's gone. Yeah,
I thought it was me that was going to have an issue.
she was that disgusted with that idea that she left.
Wow.
And she has to refresh. That's all right, Rach. Yep, she's coming back. Look,
No.
She's
No.
yay.
right.
No.
That my internet decided to freeze.
Although that
Okay.
was going to be me.
Yeah. Yeah, bloody hell, Rach.
No.
It was Jason we were
had to
hoping
re-
to be slagging off for his bad connection tonight. Don't spoil it.
Yeah.
Right, so I don't know if you heard all of that, Rach, but I was saying I don't know if you've got them written down like night 1s and then night 2s. We'll do it that way. Otherwise, we'll just do it however you want, really.
Yeah. Yeah, do you want to start with the first match? I've got
Is it first match in night
WWE
1?
Yeah.
So, right,
first
so we
match
are
night
doing
one.
night 1. We're doing night
Yeah.
1 and then night 2. Right, okay. Right, so night 1 first. Internet problems, biggest event of the year. Yeah, that's anything on this channel is besieged with problems, but we'll get through it. Right, so night 1, and we kick off with the first match that Rachel's going to let us know about, which is Rachel.
The WWE Women's Tag Team Championship #1 contender. So we got Lana and Naomi versus Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose versus the Riot Squad versus Natalia and Tamina.
Yeah, tag team turmoil, and then the winners get a women's tag title match on the second night. So how many teams is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I've heard rumours of maybe a 5th team being added, but I mean, we won't go into that unless people are desperate to pick that particular team. Yeah, Lana and Naomi, Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose, Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott, and Natalia and Tamina. Right, we will start with you first, Rach. What are your thoughts on tag team turmoil?
Do you know what? Would the team as the tag team championship? So yeah, I would like to see Naomi and Lana win it. But
Naomi and
hopefully
Lana.
one time they will combine the NXT. Lana
Yeah,
and Naomi.
Yeah, your audio's quite choppy at the moment, Rach.
Yeah, I don't know why I did it.
Yeah, I can see like it's a very weak signal
No,
for
it's
some
not
reason.
good. I'll read it again.
Okay. Do you say Naomi and Lana for your predictions?
I don't know why.
I mean, Jason's got a 10 out of 10
Yeah.
connection according to this. So, yeah, you sat in the optimum position, Jace. Well done. I'm not even sure I've got a 10 out of 10. I must have, but your connection is... Oh, your connection's 0 out of 10, Rach. So, there we are. Yeah, Rach, you might need to reset. But I think Rach picked Naomi and Lana.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Try a better connection over there.
But I think she's totally frozen. Right, let me boot her for a second. See if that improves things. Evening, Darren, the Poptimist. Joshua says Tamina and Natalia will win. They've been booked strong recently. They have, yeah. Finn Hart says he's English. Congratulations. Well done for being bored on this island. Such an honour, isn't it? You know, God save the... No, we won't get into that. Right, Vicky's next. Vicky, who have you got for tag team turmoil?
I'm kind of thinking Naomi and Lana as well. Only because of the fact that they've really been pushing them a lot lately. They've kind of kept the tag team together between the two of them, and they actually really flow together nice. Like just how they, do their moves and everything, it just kind of flows right. So yeah, I'm gonna pick them as well.
Okay, another one for Naomi and Lana. All right, Jason Clow, what say you?
It's a tough one. Do I go with my head or do I go with my heart? Because I would love Natty to get a title. She's long past due.
Yeah.
Right? And she, she is a heart. You've got to remember that. So I can't see Dana and Mandy winning it yet.
No.
Right Squad, they're sort of borderline. Do you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say Natty and Tamina.
Okay.
Natty and Tamina, says Jason. Yeah, I've not got an awful lot to say about this. There was rumours that there'd be a fifth team added on the night, which would be one of the former Iconics, maybe Billy Kay, and who's the other person she's supposed to be tagging? I can't even remember. So I'm not picking them because I can't remember. Rach is going to be right back. So Rach, I'll just have to be reading stuff out for you until you get back. Yeah, simply because I think they've been booked pretty strong, and there are a couple of veterans in this kind of women's division. I'm going to agree with Jason, and I think it's going to be Natalia and Tamina's to win this one.
Yeah.
Darren says there's not been a proper tag team since the Iconic. Not really, and I get fed up with this whole like tag team partners who don't get along rubbish as well. It's it's like WWE. It's like a trope they just can't stop using at the moment. Right, Rachel looks like she's changed positions or locations, so hopefully that's going to be better for you, Rach. Still says you've got a low connection, but we'll see how we go.
It's like being on.
That's a question for the panel. Go on then, Jonathan. Before we get moving, what's the question? Given that Jonathan Ring doesn't watch wrestling, Billy and Carmella, that's it. Yeah, that's. Sorry, I'm doing my usual reading the chat back to front.
Yeah.
Billy and Carmella rumored to be entering that match. But can they coexist? I know
I don't know.
It's such a tired thing, in it. I'm not fed up of it. Jesus Christ. I don't know if Ringo's going to give us this question for the panel, but we'll move on, and if it comes up, then we'll answer it for you, Jonathan. So, Rach, what's the next match you've got on the list for us, please?
Is that one?
Well, the next match I've got written down is Seth Rollins versus Cesaro.
Seth Rollins versus Cesaro in a straightforward singles match. Rach, who have you got for this one? Oh, dude, what massive delay.
With this match.
Yeah.
You're still having problems, Rach.
I think she knows.
Yeah. Poor H.
She's moving now.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Pardon? I've turned you up as high as you'll go, Hunter. I think I have. Not that that's going to make a lot of difference, really, if your connection's bad. And it's classed as 0 out of 10, so I'm amazed that it's even connecting you at all. You might have to give us your predictions in the chat, I'm afraid, Rach, like what I threatened Jason with earlier on.
Yeah, I'll go to. Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that, Rach, but it's just gonna slow us right down
now.
I've got the matches next to me on my phone anyway, so I can be reading those out. But yeah, Jason, make sure that you're keeping an eye on chat, please, because that's where Rach is going to be making her predictions.
Right. Okay.
I'll tell him. I'll let you know.
Okay. Thank you.
Because I have it up. So, yeah, no
I was
worries.
going to say I'll have to.
Yeah, Rach has got future endeavoured, sadly. If she thinks that her connection improves at all, then we can try and let her back on in a bit. But she'll have to see how it might be the case of like someone else in a household using something that's you know it is like I can't remember the technical term. We'll Rach can put her prediction in the chat when she's ready, but we'll go on to Vicky then. You can tell us who you've got for Rollins versus Cesaro.
I'm gonna say Cesaro. He deserves it. He's really, I think they've been giving him a big push lately, and they need to put a belt on him. Other than the tag team championship, they need to put a championship belt on him. Like he needs to have something, and he needs to be pushed even more. So I think he's going to beat Seth.
Okay, Cesaro says the night owl, not suitable for mum. The shy owl, you could call him.
Hey.
Sorry, Vic, that's more of an insult to Vicky there.
Thanks.
Sorry, Vicky. He just came to me that.
He's in one of those moods tonight.
Yeah. What?
Ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
Jason,
okay.
Cesaro versus Rollins.
I am going to go with Cesaro because it seems to me that Seth has been going out of his way to put him over. Why would he do that unless they was getting a big push? So, see where I'm coming from, right? No, I can see. I mean, Seth can get another push anytime he wants, can't he? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well,
so he's not really, it's not a big thing that he's doing for Mania, but big match, regardless of what's at stake or what's at stake. So I don't see why they can't give Cesaro that little bit of an extra push and see what happens with him for the rest of the year. He can carry it. So I think Cesaro as well.
Right, Jason's picked Cesaro, same as Vicky. Quick look at the chat. Craig says a lot are saying Seth, but personally I think Cesaro needs his limelight in the sun. In an ideal world, I'd agree. Rodders says Cesaro for the win. He recreates the 100 spin. Oh, blimey, yeah. We have time for that on. I don't think each night's meant to be going over 3 hours. Apparently, although I'm surprised if night 2 goes over. Rach is in face, but I don't know if you want to get you can either give your predictions in here and Jason will write them down.
I've got Facebook
in the Facebook chat, Rach, and Jason will write them down later on. It's up to you. Andrew says Seth and Cesaro are meant to be good friends out of the ring. But that's interesting, because that could mean that like Rollins is more averse to, or less averse to putting over Cesaro, I should say. More inclined to do it.
They've known each other for years, so
yeah, probably back from, were they both in Ring of Honor at the same time, or was maybe Rollins
even before that?
On. Yeah. Well, my prediction, I'm going to go against the you two here. Because it's WrestleMania and he's not been back too long, and I think if Cesaro was going to have the push that he deserves, and I'd still love to see him get one, but I think it would have happened a few years ago.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can't see it happening at all now. I mean,
I'm just seeing
younger, especially you, Grace. And I'm picking Seth Rollins for this. Rollins is my pick. That's all right, Rach. It can't be helped. These things happened. Justin says Cesaro is the guy that looks like Rey Mysterio, right?
Hey,
what's her pick?
What? They're both bald, you mean?
Is Ray bald? I mean, because like he's always wearing a mask, so I've seen.
He's usually got very short hair.
Yeah. All right. So, looks like Rachel's making her predictions in the Facebook group. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Next match. Right. Let's get on with this one really quick. Steel cage match: Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon. Vicky.
I'm gonna say Braun.
Okay. Jason.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Do you want to say something? All right. Back to Vicky. If you want to say a little bit about this.
No, I wasn't going to say anything. Just because.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
It is what it is, isn't it? The less said about Shano, the better. Yeah, I agree completely. The way they've been building that up, it's basically to give something Braun to do. That's all it is. So why would they have him lose unless they're going to terminate his contract?
Yep. Rach picked Braun.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Jason, who've you got for?
Yeah, as I said, Braun.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'll pick Braun Strowman for this. Yeah. Just put me down. I'm fed up of moaning about Shane McMahon and anything to do with him every single time I do one of these. So I just want to go quickly on. Just having a quick look at the chat. Andrew reckons Braun will win. There's Rachel's prediction. Justin couldn't remember if Cesaro was the other luchador. No. I don't know if you were thinking of Santos Escobar, surely.
Yeah.
Well, maybe one of the Lucha House Party you're thinking of. I don't know. And Craig's on about something to do with Twitch, not if he's not working on Twitch, it doesn't matter. The main thing is that this is working on YouTube. I've just got the option to go live on Twitch. Right, on we go with a tag team title match. It's for the Raw Tag Team Championship, and it's the New Day of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods defending against AJ Styles and Omos.
Almost.
Almost.
Jason, you can hang out with Omos, don't you?
You can imagine it. It'd be like Luke Skywalker and Yoda.
Okay. Right. New Day versus Styles and Omos for the tag titles. Who have you got for this one, Night Owl?
I want to say AJ and Omos just because they keep giving these titles back to the New Day and everything else, and it's like it's getting kind of silly now. But I don't know. It's kind of like I don't want the New Day to win, but I want them to win. But
that makes sense.
I know what she means.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna go for AJ and Omos.
AJ and Omos. So new champion says the Night Owl. What does Not Suitable for Mum say about this match?
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because New Day only just got the titles back, really. Is it going to be a quick transition? Who knows? It just seems that they are lacking strong tag teams to compete against them, or ones that are getting pushed properly, shall we say?
Yeah.
It would be different. I mean, we don't know what Omos is capable of, do we? I don't know if he was.
He's not had a match yet, has he?
No, exactly. It's his first match. I don't know if he was in, anything else beforehand.
He's a football player or something. I don't know.
I mean, he would have had some sort of. I mean, obviously, he's had some sort of rudimentary training at the very least.
Yeah,
he may have wrestled elsewhere.
Yeah.
Honestly, say as Vicky.
Well, even underground, he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
That's where we know him from. Oh,
yeah. Rachel's going for AJ and Omos as well.
Okay,
it's her pick.
Right, sorry, Jason. Who did you go for there?
I think I would like AJ and Omos to win. I'd like to be wrong, right? One time I would like to be wrong, but I think logic dictates New Day to retain.
New Day to retain. So Jason reckons Kingston and Woods will retain. Let's have a look at the chat before I make my prediction. New Day were only given the titles because the Hurt Business breakup. Yeah, although I suppose they could have kept him on the Street Profits for. I mean, I know they were previous to the Hurt Business, but yeah, I mean, the Hurt Business were one of the few sort of bright points on Raw, and ruin that. Just totally goes to prove my point that Raw's just a complete waste of time. When they have got something half decent, like they'll fuck it up. Craig says the talk is AJ no Omos to win. Look, to be honest, they were the Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash of today. Andrew, at this point, New Day are just about how many reigns setting records there'll be. Omos was a basketball. Well, given his size, yeah, that makes sense. Basketball is like bloody hell. He's about 12 foot or something. Yeah.
His barber just needs a step ladder to shave his head.
But his barber needs a step ladder to like maybe just almost get to his beard, probably. With an outstretched arm. Who have I got for this? I'm not wildly excited for it, even though I'm a big AJ Styles fan. I have been for ages. It'll be interesting to see if Omos has got any kind of some sort of halfway decent ability. I mean, the fact that his partner Styles means that
I'm waiting for him to do a top rope suicida.
He's got a good partner to kind of carry the match, and there's nothing wrong with Kingston and Woods as performers either. So if Omos is the drizzling shits, it's not really going to matter too much. So that's why I think they probably would risk some sort of tag title switch on a guy who's not. We have not seen him do anything in a ring yet in WWE. I'm going to say new champions for this. I'm going to say Styles and Omos for the win. Next match we've got is another tag team match. It was originally a singles match, and then we changed it. This one is Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus The Miz and John Morrison. So this is like your kind of night one celebrity thing, although to be fair, I'd not heard of Bad Bunny until he showed up at, what was it, Royal Rumble or whichever pay-per-view it was, and that song he did, Booker T, I thought was just an absolute racky. I thought it was shit.
Yes.
If he's done better than that, fair enough. I'll have to try and check it out, but that was rubbish. So I get with with it being called Booker T, I get why they'd bring him in, but there's
one line.
Yeah, but so Bunny and Priest, who of course has not long since been moved across from NXT, versus John Morrison and Miz. Vicky, who've you got in this one?
Well, I'm gonna go with Bad Bunny and Damian. Just because I think Damian Priest, he's up and coming. And Miz has won title after title after title. Just mainly intercontinental. Everything, he's held everything except, whatever. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to go with Bad Bunny and Damian. Just,
Okay. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. Rach has also predicted Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. If you want to make a note of that, Jace. And then we'll get on to your prediction for this one.
If I'm being honest, I think they're wasting Priest.
It's early days for him, isn't it? I mean,
I know, but
hopefully it's like onwards and upwards. But he's an NXT guy, so
it's the curse of NXT again.
Well, yeah, it looks like it probably would be, but we'll have to wait and see. But it's
to be honest with you, I don't think they would have gone through all this palaver just to give Miz and Morrison the win. This is the next future Celebrity Ring Hall of Fame inductee, like 20 years down the line or whatever. So yeah, I'm going to have to go with the general opinion of Bad Bunny and Priest.
Yeah, Bad Bunny and Priest, says Jason.
What a crap name.
Chat. Andrew has no interest in it. He's predicted Priest and Bad Bunny. Yeah, exactly the same. I just don't give a shit about this whatsoever. Apparently, he's got Grammys and a Bugatti.
Who cares?
And Craig
doesn't mean he's good.
Yeah, Craig says Vince can see the similarity between Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash and AJ and Omos. Well, yeah. Darren thinks this is a major spot for Damian Priest. Yeah. I
hope so.
I mean, it's a fairly prominent, if not very important match involving a celebrity at WrestleMania. I think back to like last year. I mean, I know last year's kind of had to be thrown together in a fashion, but I mean, it's easy to forget that Austin Theory was on last year's WrestleMania, and look at him now. He's just kind of like he's kind of like the lackey for Johnny Gargano on NXT.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show that, like, just because you've made it to WrestleMania doesn't mean like you're a made man or made woman.
Exactly.
Anything could happen, and hopefully, I like Damian Priest. I think he was called up too early, personally, to called across to. Will it be? He'll be Raw, won't it? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's on Raw. I would have liked to seen him sort of hang around that kind of North American title scene a bit longer in NXT. I think he could have done some interesting things with people like Johnny Gargano and Bronson Reed, Dexter Lumis, all kinds of people. I think Priest is one of those guys who is pretty effective as a face or a heel, really. I'm not going to go against the consensus here. I think it's Bad Bunny and Damian Priest to get the win, but so put that one down, Jason. Darren says he liked Priest since his Ring of Honor days as Punishment Martinez. Yeah, he made a name for himself.
I don't know what we've seen. No, I don't.
I think that's Patty and Mr. Patty having a chat about probably like songs of
it makes them sound like they run a burger restaurant.
The Krabby Patty. Moving on. So next match that's listed here is the WWE Championship match, and that is the defending champion Bobby Lashley defending against former champion Drew McIntyre. Vicky, what have you got for this one?
I'm gonna say Bobby because he deserves it. He's worked really hard for it. Coming back to WWE, he's done really well. Drew had it for quite a long time. Not that Drew doesn't deserve it, because he definitely deserves it. But I'm thinking they're going to keep it with Bobby Lashley. So, yeah.
Okay. Vicky says Bobby Lashley to retain. Rachel's prediction is Drew McIntyre. Thank you, Rach. Okay. Jason, who have you got for the WWE title?
Another tough one. I don't know, because the thing was when Drew won, he never really got to be in front of the crowd celebrating it, did he?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Because of COVID and everything, it was empty arena effectively. So I can't help but think that they're going to put the title back on it. Maybe only for a short while, but just so he can, finally get to enjoy the moment that he should have done in the first place.
Yeah.
See, Bobby, I know you like Bobby, right, Vicky, but I still think he's a bit of a Mr. Charisma, shall we say, i.e. lacking thereof. Sorry, I had to explain that one, Jimmy.
Well, yeah, like, you just said something that was the total opposite of what you meant. You called him Mr. Charisma to signify he doesn't have any.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to go with Drew.
Yeah.
Well, I discussed this with you last month. I think, Jason. I think you're being a little bit unfair about Bobby Lashley. He's never going to be like the most charismatic man in sports entertainment, like a Dwayne Johnson, obviously. But I think he has improved in that regard. I think, Jason, you're being a little bit harsh on him, to be perfectly honest. I think he's obviously he's a dual sport superstar with him, you know, being quite a force in MMA. I mean, he's never competed in UFC to date, which perhaps he's left that a little bit late now. And Bellator's maybe a bit of an easier option, but
I mean, it might not even be his fault. He might be very good at it, but you know, the way it's been booked.
Oh yeah.
You know, I don't know.
You know, he was TNA champion and Impact World champion or whatever it was in his run there, and I think that's where he made great improvements with his kind of character and personality. But I think he's a transitional champion myself in this case. I mean, at least he's been a longer transitional champion than The Miz. I mean, that was just kind of, you know, Miz. Miz had to have that cash in at some point. Otherwise, what was the point in him taking the briefcase off Otis in the first place?
Yeah.
But I didn't like the sort of really contrived and crappy way of like having, you know, a heel beat another heel, where Lashley just beat The Miz just so that Lashley versus Drew. But you know, they set it up, and that's fine. And I think as a Mania title match goes, it's not the most exciting men's world title match ever. But
that's night one, isn't it?
Yeah, we're still on night one, Jason. Don't worry.
Yeah. Sorry, just checking.
Like what Darren was alluding to in the chat, and what you were also saying. What the fuck is
that? Mute?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to mute him for a sec. So that was just really distracting me and making me lose my trail of thought. Sorry, Jason. I'll mute you in a sec. Where was I? So I'm picking McIntyre. I think McIntyre's going to get his moment in front of a crowd, like he couldn't get last year. So Drew McIntyre is my pick, Jason. Let me just have a quick look at the chat. Craig says last year wasn't anyone's fault what they put on. Yeah, well, I mean, we do. Yeah, I mean, I've not really discussed last year's because, we did preview last year's and then we stopped, didn't we? Because was just, Craig says Drew to regain the title. Darren is with Jason. Charisma vacuum. Lashley, not Jason. No, you can call Jason many things, but a charisma vacuum is not one of them. A incontinent hobbit, I'd certainly call him. Yeah, but he's charismatic with it. And Rach says, "What the heck?" I think that's in reference to all that background noise that Patty's making. Yeah,
I've no idea what they're watching.
Yeah. Oh, a bloody Harry Seacon or something for a guess. Right. One more match to go in night one, and it is the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. It's Sasha Banks defending against the winner of the 2021 Women's Royal Rumble match, Bianca Belair. So, Vicky, how do you feel about this one?
I really want Bianca to win. I really do. And I think that I'm going to pick Bianca for the simple fact of they never really let Sasha Banks hang on to the title for that long. And she's had it quite a while, actually, surprisingly enough, which is really good because she's amazing. Not saying Sasha's bad or anything, but I'm hoping that they give it to Bianca.
Yeah, fair enough. Bianca Belair says the Night Owl. Shite Owl. What have you got to say?
That's you're going to run with that, aren't you?
Yeah, I might have to now. I'm just going to apologise to Vicky.
It's going to be, you wait, change it in Facebook chat. You wait.
Yeah. Rach is picking Bianca Belair as well.
Okay, thank you, Rach.
Yeah, normally I would have said the champion to retain because Bianca's obviously come up from NXT, and normally they don't stick the championship on them straight away. However, she's had such a strong push with it, and she's run with it. She hasn't sort of faltered. She's kept her promo sharp, all the rest of it, stayed in character, and they've really bounced well off of each other. I think the match is going to be excellent, possibly one of the best matches of WrestleMania. It's got the potential to be anyway. So, do I go with logic or do I go with? I'm gonna stick my nose out again. I'm gonna go with Bianca.
Bianca says, Jason, a bit of a look at the chat. Darren reckons it's far too early for Bianca Belair.
Yeah, I can. That's what I was looking at.
Where you're coming from. Andrew says, Sasha, I think, feuding through the summer. Darren, let Banks have a really good, long, meaningful run. I wouldn't be against it. No. Joshua Brown predicts Bianca Belair. And Craig thinks it's going to be a I'll try that again. A Hogan Warrior WrestleMania 6 ending moment between Belair and Sasha Banks. Bianca Belair to win. Right, so that was difficult to read that, Craig. My prediction is I like Sasha Banks. She's always been one of my more sort of favourite people in the women's division. She's not had that sort of omnipresence that Charlotte Flair seems to have had all over the women's division for the past few years. Although Charlotte, of course, she's not at WrestleMania this year for bizarre reasons that I don't think we'll have time to get into. I think Bianca Belair is going to do it because I think probably Bianca will go into a feud with someone like Bayley. Who, I'm a big Bayley fan and I love her work as a heel and I liked her a lot as a babyface. Even though that's when I first saw Bayley years ago, I thought, it's the sort of character I like, but the way she did it really sort of won me over. Yeah. And I think she makes just as good a heel as she did a face and. I'm a big fan of Bayley, and it's a shame that I'm not talking about Bayley in a title match this year. But that being said, I think Bianca Belair would have a great feud over the title with Bayley, and that's why I think I would like to see it, and I think it will happen. I think Bianca to win against Sasha Banks. Yeah, Darren says Bayley not having a spot after a year's work is criminal. It is. It's a damn shame, isn't it? Yeah. Andrew reckons that Io Shirai will debut on one of the shows with her losing at Takeover. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, they might be bringing her to Raw or SmackDown. What would they drop the bell? You never know. Can
I just say something to Darren though? He made a comment earlier about letting Sasha's have a good long run, but if you I would love for her to be able to have that, but if you look at the history of the way they've done things with her, she never holds on to the title that long, which frustrates her, never mind the fans. And I totally agree with Darren that they should give her that good long run, and also Bayley not being in this at all, there's got to be some kind of circumstance of why she's not there. But what they're doing with the women's division, it just blows me away after all the work that these women are doing to get where they're at. But I do agree. But what they've done with Sasha lately kind of makes me think that she's not going to hang on to it for longer.
You said about Bayley. I can see Bayley's going to be doing something at Mania. She's got to.
Yeah,
and I can see her coming out and costing Sasha the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. It's just like, would they want to restart that particular thing again?
Yeah.
I mean, as good as it was, and it, for the most part, it's just kind of just repeat. I mean, it's a repetitive kind of thing if they do.
It is.
Again.
And then
I think those
WWE
two need
do
to
that.
be apart from each other for quite some time now. And maybe shift one of them to another brand maybe at some point. Although I wouldn't wish Raw on anyone currently. It's not bad, but yeah. So we've done night one, so we're halfway through regarding WrestleMania itself. So we move on to night two, which is of course Sunday, April the 11th. And looks like there's 7 matches here to talk about. Obviously, as we know, there's been some things that have been shunted to tonight's SmackDown. So SmackDown is kind of like a glorified 2-hour pre-show, really, if you think. Excuse me, if you think about it. But we'll get going with the matches announced for night 2 of WrestleMania. First one, and there's probably not an awful lot we can say about it, given that we don't know what one of the teams involved, but it is the match for the Women's Tag Team Championship, where Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defend against the winners of the Tag Team Turmoil on night 1 that we were predicting earlier on. So, Vicky, what can you say about this one?
I mean, the thing is, like, we know that Lana and Naomi have beaten Shayna and Nia before. So, but I don't think they're going to beat them this time. Because, I don't know, they're letting them hang on to them for quite a while. So, I'm going to go with Nia and Baszler for that.
Nia and Baszler to retain, okay?
Right.
Jason, who have you got in?
So I'm just writing things down. So it's Nia and Shayna versus whoever.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm going with the match, if you like, that takes place beforehand. I'm wondering if that's going to have an underlying factor on who wins. So, if my prediction is right, i.e. Natty and Tamina, and let's be honest, this is the biggest push Tamina's had in, well, both of them for that matter, have had in a long, long time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say Natty, or, well, how do we count this? Is it whoever beats them we get the point for, or do we have to
I think that's fair. So if you want to say the challenging team, then fair enough.
The challenging team.
Yeah, do that.
But
I mean, whether
primarily Natty and Tamina.
Yeah, because I know that's who I picked as well. But yeah. Rachel's put Lana and Naomi, so looks like Rachel's prediction is for the challenging team as well, the new champions. As for me,
Yeah.
You said Nia, didn't you? And Vicky.
Yeah. Vicky predicted Nia and Shayna to retain. I'll say new champions here. I think Natalya and Tamina are going to do it, and give them a run. Like they can always drop the belts on Raw or SmackDown or wherever. Like I don't expect that team to hold it for particularly long. Rodders says retirement is due for Tamina. I don't think she's that old. I mean, I wouldn't have thought she'd be that sort of beaten up stuff either, really.
Well, Natty, for that matter.
No. I mean, Natalya's been going some years, but I think she's been fairly sort of lucky with avoiding serious injury. Right, okay, we move on to a favourite of the panel, certainly. They love him so much, but the United States Championship, where Riddle defends against Sheamus. Vicky, who have you got for Riddle versus Sheamus?
Oh, dear Lord. I hope Sheamus throws him around like a bloody rag doll, so I'm going for Sheamus. Sorry.
Bro! No, or in this case, bro!
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I'm going to go for Sheamus, just because I really, you know what? Riddle's a good wrestler. Don't get me wrong. But I think if they get him to lose, then they can bring back him as a new character and everything else. Maybe revamp him and get rid of this old stoner that they've turned him into. Yeah. You know what I mean? This real dumb person. And maybe he likes that. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going for Sheamus. And apparently so is Rach.
Yes. Right, okay, so 2 for Sheamus there. Vicky and Rach both want the Celtic Warrior to pick up the US title. Jason, I know you're a massive Riddle fan, so you're definitely going to be picking him. I don't even think we need to talk about it now. Go on, I will say what you want.
Sorry, I got stuck there for a minute. Couldn't help myself. Oh dear. I'd like Sheamus to win. I would. I'm looking at it like this. Okay, Riddle's had a bit of a run with the title, and he's done all right with it. Like I said, he's not as wrestlers go, he's not bad. I kind of like the barefoot thing, that he's got a different approach, and that even the sandals thing is semi-entertaining.
Yeah.
Right, but like you said, it's like a bargain basement version of Rob Van Dam. And he just doesn't do anywhere near as good as Rob Van Dam did it. Oh lordy. I think with everything that's happened to Sheamus lately, he deserves the title because he's gone all out for, I'm not saying they'll ever put the world title on him again, but if they can give him a reasonably significant title and let him have a run with it as a what should we say, a straight out thug style character, bit brutality, whatever. I think that could be really good for the title. So I think it's Sheamus.
Right, we've got 3 for Sheamus then. It's not perfect, but since he came from NXT, although I don't think you were that fond of him in NXT, are they, Jason? Oh, Matt Riddle, but
no. Well, it was the gimmick. That's the issue.
It's just the guy who likes to smoke weed, Jace. He's like, at least it's probably one of the more realistic characters WWE have got. Or does that feel like a sort of like walking zombie or something?
No, I know, but it's like every 5 seconds.
Like a demon from the bowels of hell or something like the Fiend or okay. I'm not saying they've done a brilliant job with Riddle since his move to the main roster, but he is the US champion. Keith Lee, I think, has got the raw end of the deal really since he was moved up. I would have loved to have seen him stay in NXT and be having matches now with another match with Karrion Kross and guys like Finn Balor, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, blah blah blah.
I'd have liked to see it go up against Walter.
Oh yeah, Keith Lee versus Walter would be a phenomenal match. Bringing Keith Lee up and then just sort of shitting on him is just a travesty, really, for me. I see where people are coming from with Sheamus here, but Sheamus doesn't need the US title, and I can't see Riddle dropping it. I think. Okay. I wouldn't see I could see Sheamus winning it, but I'd think, well, what's the point of it? Sheamus doesn't need this belt, whereas Riddle is sort of in the more earlier years of his career. He does. He needs the push. So I'm saying Riddle to retain.
Okay.
I'm fairly confident on that as well. I'm a little bit torn of a fashion, but I don't know. Everyone's so sort of. I don't know if you get in personal feelings, proud judgment, really, that you hate people so much you just want him to lose all the time. People like who they like, they dislike who they dislike. If you think Riddle's annoying, then I'm sure he is to many people in many ways. To me personally, I just find it more amusing, but whether I can see him wearing thin with me at some point, certainly. So I do understand where you're coming from. Craig says Riddle's a stone in real life. Yeah, Darren, Riddle's a legit ass kicker with his background, but a joke character at the minute. Yeah. I mean that's a fair comment.
Yeah.
Andrew says what Volta is going to be the next big run in NXT. Well, I mean he's held the UK title for over 2 years now, longest title reign in WWE since the 80s apparently, which will be Hulk. That'll be Hulk Hogan. That will. Keith Lee injured. He's going to win the title. Yeah, Volta's got no interest in coming to America full time. That's which I understand. Fair enough. But I think that will kind of put limitations on Volta's career, really. Ultimately, because I mean, how much else can he do in NXT UK? Really.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that one goes. Right. Okay. Next match is the Night 2 celebrity kind of thing. We've got Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. And in Sami Zayn's corner is Logan Paul. Vicky, Owens versus Zayn.
I don't know. I like KO. I really want him to win because, I don't know, like, I know that they're just characters and stuff, and Sami Zayn can really wrestle well. And having Logan Paul in his corner and the whole conspiracy theory, that they're pulling out and everything else, I could see maybe Logan Paul trying to get involved or something. But I don't know. I'm going to go with KO anyways. I mean, I don't know, but I really think that KO, maybe Sammy will try and get Logan involved and KO will catch him. I don't know.
Okay, Kevin Owens says Vicky, Jason Clow, KO versus Sami Zayn.
Under normal circumstances, right? I mean, I'm not saying it won't be a good match. It will, but it's Kevin Owens and Sami, when they get together, they know each other so well. They always put on a good show. But it's the whole Logan Paul naffness to it. Why do you want to? I'm sorry, but I know we all do YouTube.
Yeah,
but I'm never going to. Even if I had 1 million subs, I'm not going to count myself as a bloody celebrity because I'm not. I'm just some bloke who talks to the internet, right? Anyway, regardless of all that,
I've already got your autograph, Jason, and it's worth fuck all anyway.
I know it is. Don't say I have to pay people to take it. Right. Anyway, I can't give my stickers away, can I? No, I can see. I think KO will win, right? And I'm going with the fact that because of what happened in the segment with what Logan Paul was saying, it'll be a big conspiracy against Sami again with Logan Paul costing Sami the match. So that's the way I look at it. So KO for me.
Yeah, Rach said Kevin Owens too. Sorry, Jim.
Oh, that's fine. Thank you, Rach. 3 for Owens then on the panel so far. Joshua says Kevin Owens, Logan is turning on Sami. Rodders, Logan is going to take a stunner. Oh, yeah.
Hope so.
Yeah. I hope so.
Sorry.
Completely agree. Andrew reckons we're going to get a Logan Paul run to a match at SummerSlam with Owens. Oh, Jesus. Well, yeah. I mean, I mean, he's done boxing, hasn't he? And his brother certainly has, and I think he has as well. So, Craig reckons Logan Paul won't be too much of an issue. He'll be there like Macaulay Culkin. I don't remember Macaulay Culkin being at WrestleMania 7.
Yeah, he just sat there.
Oh, he was just in the crate, just bought a ticket. Okay.
Okay, then.
Reminds me of when I think David Arquette, you saw him on and you only saw him because he was sat behind the commentary desk. This was SmackDown from about 15 years ago. And because he was just there as like someone who bought a ticket, no one had, you could see him. And I think he held up a sign saying ex-WCW World Champion or something. But they didn't do the thing where they do with certain celebrities in the audience where they'll put the camera on him particularly and then put a caption.
Yeah.
It was just like, if you're eagle-eyed enough, it's David Arquette's there. But so it was one of those type of deals. Okay, I've got no massive interest in this match, even though I'm sure it'll be a decent one. Really, I've got zero interest in Logan Paul, other than hopefully him getting his head flushed down the toilet by JBL or somebody. So I'll go with Kevin Owens here. Yeah, Kevin Owens for me.
Right.
Got to say about it really.
Before you carry on, I just need to pop to the library.
Oh, okay.
You're going for a dump, okay? Right.
Yeah. Oh boy, he's gonna be a while. I
don't know. He's got pretty quick at shitting, Jason, because he does it so much.
Good to know.
So we'll just have a little bit of a break, commercial break, while Jason's on the bog. Rach, I haven't got one, Jason. I haven't got one what.
We missed that part.
Rod is just smiling at some. God, everyone's gone quiet now. Now that we're just having a bit of a break. So, how's everyone? I hope everyone's had a good week. I'm looking forward to WrestleMania. Hall of Fame. I watched that the other day. I can see why they cut all the speeches and stuff.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like they cut the speeches, but they cut having inductors, but yet they just ran too many ads for WrestleMania. It's like, people are watching the Hall of Fame. They're gonna know when WrestleMania is, and they're gonna watch it. Why do you need to keep advertising it? It's stupid.
Yeah, we already know.
It's gilding the lily or something, isn't it? There's no point. And then we've got all those red carpet interviews, which seemed. I mean, one or two of those might have been nice, but all that amount was just pointless. So.
See, but they could have cut out the whole red carpet thing, and left the interview times or left the speech times.
Yeah,
longer.
They could have had longer speech. I mean, I'm not saying I wanted to hear everyone do like a fucking 40-minute speech.
No, but
you don't want a repeat of the Mr. T incident or Hillbilly Jim or those.
Yeah.
Speaking of hillbillies, Jason's back. Well, you do that, Jay, but you didn't need to ham it up. You kind of just look like one there anyway. Right, so we can carry on now. So, Hall of Fame was, it was a bit weird this year, but it did fit into two actual classes, I suppose. Right, on we go to the Intercontinental Championship, and that is a Nigerian drum fight.
What? Say that again?
It's a Nigerian drum fight.
What the heck is that?
FIGHT. Well, it's a drum fight between Nigerians, Jace. It's pretty
a drum fight.
It's self-explanatory, mate. It's some sort of like no holds barred hardcore type thing, I think.
Do they beat each other with a pair?
It's on the hyperlink and it goes straight to hardcore wrestling. It's going to beat each other.
Do they beat each other up with a pair of bongos?
Yeah. Yes, Jason. Well, well done. So thank you for interrupting me for that real witticism there. So it's Big E defending the belt against Apollo Crews. Right, Vicky, who have you got for the Nigerian drum fight?
I'm going to say Big E. I don't know what I think of this whole character that they've got Apollo on or whatever. Like, I mean, I give them kudos, but to me, compared to some of the efforts they've made to, do characters for people, like even that Punjabi prison match was better than this. So I'm going to say Big E.
Okay, Big E to retain, says the Night Owl. Not suitable for Mum.
Yeah.
If you want to drop some more drum related jokes, now's the chance. Hopefully they'll be better than that one about Bongo.
I hope they don't miss a beat.
Yeah, there you go. That's better. Still shit, but it was better than the last thing. So you're working upwards there.
Right. Okay. I really don't know. I mean, I'm semi-intrigued now by the whole concept of the match. It's probably going to be awful, but it's like, what is it? What are they? I don't get it. I can see the feud carrying on actually with Biggie and Apollo. They're obviously trying to do something a bit different. Apollo, building them up, making them a bit what should we say, or a more interesting character. Perhaps allowing him to have better matches, even though this concept strikes me as completely bizarre. I think Biggie to retain, and then they carry on their feud or whatever you want to call it. Maybe Apollo will win somewhere down the line.
All right. Jason says Big E. So, and Rachel also has gone with Big E. Andrew, I think Big E will drop it. I think he's going to be moving up to run at the Universal title. Yeah, it's coming hinted at or thought about for some time now. Certainly since the New Day were broken up during the brand split. So yeah, Nigerian drum fight. We don't know what that's going to be. It's like I say, I clicked on it and it goes straight to hardcore wrestling. So it's going to be some sort of weapons match, some sort of hardcore rules thing, but with like sort of maybe African style weapons and drums and stuff. I mean, it's just a case of wait and see. I think really. I quite like the name of it. It's a little bit unusual, Nigerian drum fight. That's not sort of phrase you expect to hear at WrestleMania or in WWE in general, but that's just me. I just like it when things are a bit quirky, really. Difficult one for me to pick this. I think it'll be an all right match if they give it enough time.
Sorry. Hang on mute. Bell.
That's fine, Jay. Finally, someone in that household who actually talks sense. Yeah. Right. So, am I picking for this? It's difficult. This I like Big E as an Intercontinental Champion, but I wouldn't be averse to seeing Apollo Crews get a similar level push. And maybe this could carry on for a while, this particular feud, for a little bit beyond. There's bound to be some WrestleMania rematches at whatever the next pay-per-view is. Not sure if it's Extreme Rules or Backlash or whatever it will be. So, you know what? I'm gonna say new champion. I think it's going to be Apollo Crews to win the Intercontinental title. I just think, I think Andrew's made a good point about Big E maybe going on to other things eventually, but I think they'll get some more mileage out of this. So that's that one. So we've got 3 matches left to predict. I'm sure you all know what they are, but we're going to predict them nonetheless. And the first one is The Fiend alongside Alexa Bliss. Ooh, and I've just remembered I'm not supposed to say that word too loud because it sets my device off.
Miss
Randall Keith, boring old Randy Orton. Vicky, who have you got in this one?
I think it's going to be The Fiend. Just because of the way they've been running the storyline. They brought him out in a new mask and everything. I think the way that they ended Fastlane was pretty awesome. I really did like it. Even though Alexa got a lot of backlash from the way she sat on Randy at the end. I'm going to go with Fiend and Alexa.
Okay. Fiend, says Vicky. I think that's a fair shout. Not suitable for Mum.
Yeah, I agree with what Vicky's saying. It seems to be, they've let Randy have this big sort of spotlight moment again without necessarily having the title. And I think if it'd been years previous, it would be like, oh no, Orton would say no, I'm not jobbing to the Fiend, I'm not, I'm not putting him over, blah blah blah. But Orton's changed quite a lot in the last few years, I think, in his attitude and everything. So I can see him helping to put Bray over, and I think there's a lot more going to happen with Bray than they've done, in a while. It's going to be the next evolution, if you like, of the character, because that. I mean, the Undertaker's done it, Kane's done it. They've all evolved and moved on onto other things, and then incorporate little bits and pieces of their gimmick. So it would make sense to me, from a booking point of view, to have the Fiend win. So that's what I'm going to go with.
Taker's done it, Kane's done it, even educated Flea's done it. That's what came in my head when you said that. So Fiend says, Jason, we
go down
as a cinematic match, and Rach has picked the Fiend as well for this. Yes, she has. As a straightforward singles match, and I'm sure there'll be some sort of shenanigans and cheeky pokery. I don't know. I'm just not overly excited for this. I just think it's the general sort of malaise of Raw, really, and it's not the fault of anyone in the match particularly. It's just, I'm finding it difficult to care about many of the Raw, even the WWE title match, Lashley versus McIntyre. And I like Drew, and I kind of like Bobby Lashley as well to an extent. But even that doesn't feel like proper WrestleMania. But they're representing Raw. They're representing just an absolute dog's toilet of a brand.
Yep.
But
as of late, I agree.
Oh yeah, I've got nothing much to say about this other than I think the Fiend will win. Really. Rodder says Money in the Bank is a good shout as directly after me. Money in the Bank. Yeah, that always comes after Mania now, doesn't it? Yeah. I forgot about that. It did last year, didn't it? That weird. Titan Towers Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, that's very strange.
Travesty.
Fiend. Rod says Rodders. He predicts the Fiend as well. Craig says the Fiend match won't be cinematic. Yeah, it probably could have done with being, or maybe they'll do little bits, little inserts that are kind of obviously pre-taped or whatever. We'll have to wait and see. But I should be way more excited for that than I am. That's unfortunately. All right, the penultimate match. The penultimate match we've got to talk about is for the Raw Women's Championship. That's Asuka defending against Rhea Ripley. And if she has a bad match, then you're going to see the headline diarrhea the following day. I thought you'd like that one, Jace.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. He will be here all week, especially for bar mitzvahs and weddings.
Try the scampi in a basket. Right?
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm sure I've made that joke on a panel before. Right, Asuka versus Ripley, Raw Women's title. There again, it's another Raw match, but and I like both competitors in it. But let's see what Vicky's got to say about it.
I'm gonna go with Rhea Ripley, so that's my pick. But I'm gonna say it's just because they haven't done anything with Asuka as of late, which really sucks. And I have a feeling if they don't let Rhea Ripley win this, she could be another statistic. And I would hate that to see again what they call the NXT roster curse. So if you get called up, you don't get used. So I would hate for that to happen to Rhea Ripley, but I'm going to go with her this time.
Rhea Ripley to win the title, says Vicky. Rach has also predicted Rhea. Thank you, Rach. Not suitable for Mom. Who have you got in the Raw Women's World Championship of the World Championship match?
Another tough one.
And Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, another tough one to pick. the thing is, why they haven't done anything with Asuka is because there's been no legit competition.
Yeah.
Right, and this is the problem with a lot of what's going on Raw. The roster is it's not diverse enough, and whoever they have got, they're not utilizing properly to cover the roles that need to be covered.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's the issue. So I think it's a little bit unfair with Asuka. I don't think it's anything that she's done or anything. I think it's just circumstance. Okay, I could see it happening, but I would be surprised if they put the title on Rhea straight away. No doubt she's going to win it at some point. No doubt. Because the amount of success she's had, NXT UK champion, NXT Women's champion, she's always gone on to bigger and better things. And it would be criminal if they leave her by the wayside. Absolutely criminal. And if they did, I can see her going, right, that's it, bye, and gone.
Done. Yep.
She go to AEW or whatever. I can easily see that happening, and I don't think WWE would want that to happen.
No.
So I think it's a little early yet, but I would like to see more of a story building between the two. At the moment, they're very amicable, aren't they?
Well,
yeah.
I think
there's been a little bit of tension, but
I think Rhea turned heel or more like pretty much.
Yeah, but it's almost like friendly banter. Almost, it's like I know I can beat you, but let's see what you got, sort of thing. I'm gonna have to go with Asuka, I'm afraid. I'm probably wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but.
I think that's a fair shout, really. I wouldn't mind either of these winning. I like them both. I've always been a big Asuka fan since the NXT days. And Rhea Ripley, I've got a lot of time for her. She was a decent UK champion, decent NXT champion. She really should have had a moment last year successfully defending the NXT Women's title against Charlotte, but Charlotte Flair, it's kind of like the female John Cena, really, But,
just not as it is.
It's a Charlotte-free WrestleMania unless she sort of sticks her head in somewhere, but I don't know if she will. It's a tough one, this, for me. It's a bit of a coin toss one for me, this, because I can see either. Would they give Rhea that kind of big win when they sort of screwed her a little bit last year? Maybe, but would they have Asuka? Plus, like, there's all these reports that Becky Lynch possibly coming back soon after WrestleMania. Yep. She's got unfinished business with Asuka, and I'd like to see Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley tangle as well. So, there's options there. I think Becky Lynch coming back to Raw, presumably to Raw. Anyway, it'd give the women's division
they need
a little bit of a boost, even temporarily. I think Charlotte is off Mania, Andrew, from what I can see, unless she sort of crops up on advertised, really.
Well, she's also
anymore.
Yeah, she's also isolating, isn't she, because of COVID?
Yep. All of them are, really.
So something like that, It all seemed a bit complicated and convoluted. So, there's false pregnancy rumours and things like that as well. Plus, the fact that Andrade got released recently, that's kind of muddying the waters a little bit as well, I think. It's all a bit of a confusing mess, really, at the moment.
It is.
I'm sure that'll sort itself out into maybe by the weekend, and she's sort of back on screen. But if she's self-isolating, then no, I wouldn't expect. I wasn't sure she was or not, but I wouldn't expect to see her for at least another week or two. So this match, Rhea Ripley. I'm going to go Rhea Ripley. There we are. It's said and done. I can easily see Asuka retaining. I can see Rhea Ripley winning, and I'll be happy with either of those results. Probably a little more happier seeing Rhea Ripley win, because I think she deserves it. But I'm a big Asuka fan, so I'll not have a bad word said against her. And if she won, then that'd be fine. Right, we have got one more match to predict, and then this whole caboodle is over and done with. It is a triple threat match for the Universal Championship of the Universe. It's between the champion Roman Reigns, and he's defending against the winner of the men's 2021 Royal Rumble, Edge, and of course that sneaky little interloper who managed to weasel his way into a title match for reasons that I can't really comprehend, to be fair. Daniel Bryan. Now, before we get on with the prediction, I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed at this. I think it should have been one-on-one. Edge versus Reigns, like we thought it was going to be. It's shade to WrestleMania 20, where Shawn Michaels weaseled his way into that match. Chris Benoit versus Triple H. Fortunately, that turned out to be one of the best triple threat matches ever, and it's one sadly they can't talk about anymore.
I was there.
Yep. Jason was there. Yeah. If you listen to a very quiet point in that night during the whole broadcast, probably during Goldberg versus Lesnar, you can hear it. You can hear fart. That was Jason before he started chanting "You sold out." I bet you did chant "You sold out" at Brock Lesnar, didn't you? You bloody sheep.
I didn't know. I just went boo.
How can someone sell out when they're like they trying to start a career with the I forgot what NFL?
No, I didn't.
I started from the bottom.
Yeah,
I didn't boo him because
that's
of
not,
that.
That's not selling out. If anything, that's like being kind of daft. And
I booed them because it was I thought it was an F match myself.
Well, it was a bloody awful match, Jason.
Yeah, exactly. So
I had read that Shane McMahon was in the crowd, just as like a kind of obviously he would have been more than a spectator, but he had like a sort of crowd seat, probably off the hard camera somewhere. And he was the one who was kind of leading the "You sold out" chants, which I don't know.
Well, there you go then.
I don't know how true that is. I mean, if you were there, Jason, you might have.
I did well. I mean, where I was up, like third tier up.
Well,
so if he had been there, I wouldn't have seen
catch a glimpse of something. It's like asking to go bird watching with Stevie Wonder. I mean, it's just no point.
I just come to say I love you.
But So, triple threat match. I don't think Daniel Bryan should be in this. Yeah, what would they have done with Bryan instead? I don't know. I'm kind of a bit over the whole Bryan thing. Yeah, it was lovely at WrestleMania 30, and he deserved it and everything. But that was then. I don't really care. I wanted to see one-on-one Reigns versus Edge. I don't think Daniel Bryan should be in this match. If I was there at the stadium, I'd probably be booing Daniel Bryan just because of this reason. Even though I have nothing against him generally, I don't think he belongs in this match, and that's my opinion. But Vicky, we'll get on to you with your prediction.
Well, I'm going to agree with you on most of those points, too. I really would have loved to have seen Roman and Edge do this on their own. And I think that he won so many times against Jey Uso. And how many times do you have to let him win? And so I'm going to go with Edge. But I agree with you, Jimmy, on that one. It's just what's the point of letting him win? Because they should have made him lose against Jey Uso, and gone from there.
Yeah, the thing is, if Daniel Bryan wins the Universal title, I mean, he's not going to hold it for long because he never does. Like he either gets injured or he's just like a transitional kind of guy, and he'll probably drop it back to Roman Reigns or even to Edge at like the Money in the Bank or whatever. It's just I don't know. I'm looking forward to the match. Hopefully, it'll be an excellent match. No reason why it shouldn't be. Yeah. I just resent Daniel Bryan being inserted into this. Well, I think the whole story of Edge coming back, winning the Rumble, was strong. We've got Roman Reigns who's done brilliant work as a heel this last 8 or 9 months, or however long it has been. Must have been longer than that, surely. Or maybe not. Anyway, Jason, have you got in this one?
Right. Okay. Well, I'll tell you that in a minute. I think the thing is with this, we know that Daniel Bryan is probably not that far away from retirement. It may be another couple of years yet. He is a writer, so I wonder how much say he had himself in it. And maybe the consensus of his opinion, right, that perhaps they don't quite believe in Roman to have the match that they want with Edge. So this is this added element. It almost strikes me as that they haven't quite got enough faith in Roman, or maybe this thing is, can Edge go like he used to be able to?
Yeah.
Are they together able to generate a good enough match? Personally, I think they can, but I'm trying to look at it from an outside perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. That all said, if they don't let Edge win, it would be bloody criminal because of everything that's gone on. Yeah. I think Roman's held it long enough. He's done a good job. I think it's one of the strongest runs he's had in, if not ever, certainly a hell of a long time.
Yeah.
The whole thing with Paul Heyman works brilliantly. Yeah. The fact of what they've done with I'm sorry, but I can always get them round the wrong way. Jimmy and Jay.
Uso?
Right?
Yeah,
the Uso. Anyway, whichever one of them is right, that is getting the push. It's Jay, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Jay. That's right. I thought it was. Yeah. Right. But I can see things perhaps falling apart with Roman. Still staying with Heyman, but with Jimmy coming back as well, because that's got to happen sometime soon. So I think there's something down the line which may occupy Roman for a while. And I can see maybe Daniel Bryan getting a title later on just to be his one last run before he does retire. So to me, everything logical would say, regardless of anything else, is Edge to win. So, that I'm going to go with that, right? And I hope they don't. As much as I like Daniel Bryan, as much as he might deserve a title run, I don't think it's now. Okay. So, Edge.
Okay.
Convoluted, I know. Sorry.
You could have said all that in like about 3 words.
Yeah, I know, but it was trying to elaborate on.
Yes, I know. I saw Rachel's predict. Yeah, Rach thinks Roman's going to retain.
Oh, interesting.
Could happen. Rachel's like to see Edge or Roman win, but she has predicted Reigns for the win. Rodders, Bryan's get pinned by Edge to protect Roman. Yeah, that seems a likely scenario. Yeah. But I want Bryan to win. See, I don't like. So he's got to retire again in a couple of years. Yeah, like people, a lot of wrestlers retire. It doesn't mean say they have to be in the main event at WrestleMania for no good reason other than I deserve it. Oh, think back to the Yes movement, which, well, let's face it, that was 7 years ago. It was a long time ago. Like, I've moved on since then. Like whether other people haven't, I don't know. But to me, Daniel Bryan should be a guy who's like putting over younger talent and maybe like a part-time guy now anyway. Edge, if he's back and he's full-time and he can go, fair enough. There again, I don't think he'll be on top sort of for years and years because he's probably not in good enough shape. But he won the Rumble and he's, as far as I'm concerned, he was entitled to a one-on-one match against a world champion. And it's just kind of irked me a little bit, and that Bryan's just been inserted in. And maybe it might have improved things, but I don't know. I think Reigns and Edge would have had a perfectly excellent match, just one-on-one, really. So my prediction for I think simply because he won the Rumble and he's kind of turned heel, or he seems to have, but maybe it's just because of the whole Bryan thing. I've got to go with Edge. Really, I've got to go with the winner of the Rumble, and I think that's the only fair ending to this. I think Reigns will get a rematch pretty sharpish, particularly if he's not the one who gets pinned. I think he'll use that as like a clause for an instant rematch at like Money in the Bank or whatever. And I just, Daniel Bryan, I like the guy, I like his work, but I'm not, I'm not high on the scent of his farts like a lot of people seem to be. I don't think he's that brilliant that he should automatically be in any main event. That
you're high on the scent of mine, mate.
That's my opinion, anyway. I've seen the guy live back in his American Dragon days. I saw him wrestle Nigel McGuinness in Liverpool. Brilliant match. But that was 2006. It's 2021 now. Yeah. We should be talking about all these guys who've come up from NXT and about how they're in the world title picture. But unfortunately, WWE's made such a shit show of producing and promoting new, younger talent that they're having to rely on these older guys like Edge and Bryan. And even like on the other side, the Raw side, I mean, we've got McIntyre, who I like him. I think he's great, but you could class him as a veteran, and certainly the same goes for Lashley.
Oh yeah, easily.
I mean, why aren't it should be guys like Finn Balor and who were like sort of carrying the company and are like the sort of top level superstars.
It's funny to class Edge as an old guy, really.
Yeah. It is
because
he's been around since the late 90s. I remember his pay-per-view debut. It was like end of '98 or something, I think.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I've been a fan ever since he turned up with the new Brood, and that was literally before I'd even seen him wrestle. He just came out to the ring with that whole Brood gimmick, and I was like, that guy looks freaking cool. And I was like, whether I knew he was going to be a champion or not was another matter. But
Yeah, Aleister Black. Yeah, I mean, bloody hell, they've just let go a former NXT champion, Andrade. I mean, I'm not saying he would have been like WWE's number one guy, like the new John Cena or the new Hulk Hogan, but he would have. He could have probably sort of filled that Latino demographic that WWE is supposedly facing. And he was the guy who obviously Triple H thought was good enough for a run on top because he made him NXT champion for a while. And they've just, and he's married to arguably the most sort of powerful female full-time competitor in the company. And even he had fuck all chance. It's bizarre, really.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Aleister Black, Finn Balor's gone back down or across to NXT and he's thriving and that's good for him. I think that's great. Ricochet, another one. You can reel off a whole list of people who really should have been built up better than what they have. I mean, that's why I kind of, when I pick people like Apollo Crews to win and Riddle to return, I know people kind of don't like Riddle, but I'm just talking about these sort of NXT guys in general and these younger guys. I just like to think, this is maybe the start of their ascent to be a real proper elite level performer in WWE.
The thing is, this isn't anything new for WWE with this chat attitude, though.
Yeah.
Well, no, we talked about it.
They've never really looked to the future of who is going to be the next. With a few exceptions, but who's going to be carrying the company? Who are going to be the big stars? They're still relying on the older guys.
When you're looking at the expected John Cena, how many times he won the title? The Rock won the title how many times? He carried it for a while. You had Stone Cold who carried it for a while. Now you got Roman Reigns who's carrying it now. But who's going to take over for him? Because they're not letting anybody else try and take over for him. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. You sit there and you look at all this talent. It's time for the younger generation to take over and have their go at all of this instead of, even Carmella. They brought her back for what? A few weeks or a month, storyline with Sasha Banks, and now she's gone again because Bianca's there.
Yeah,
But
I mean, the
it's
women's division I think works a little different because the women's division hasn't got that kind of years and decades sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Lineage that men's wrestling in men's WWE main event wrestling has got. So I think it works a little bit. A lot. You're bound to be a fairly young, fairly recent-ish performer if you're getting a push in the women's division, because women's wrestling is a serious proposition. Is still a relatively new thing in WWE. It doesn't seem that long ago that it was still all pillow fights and lingerie matches. All the kind of matches that Jason used to get his favorite tea towel ready for.
No.
Yes, Jace. Yeah. Oh, well, although I know they don't compare to your beloved Samantha Fox. I know, but there we go. And it'll be the same till Vince moves aside, says Andrew. And yeah, I think that's exactly right. If Triple H gets reign of the whole company, I think things will make a drastic improvement. But that's not going to be until Vince is going to be there till he literally drops. I mean, he's going to. I think remember I said this today. I think you're going to hear Vince McMahon dies on the job. I really do.
Yep.
He'll just peg out one day at the gorilla position. I really do.
Completely.
And that's fair play. That's how much he loves his company and loves the business. He wants to be there 24/7. Unfortunately, it's to the detriment of the product a lot of the time. Yeah,
he's just lost his touch.
Yeah, another one. There's so many that you can list, and it's a shame we're ending the stream on a bit of a negative note. But
sorry, there
is positives to look forward to. It won't be like this forever, I don't think. Eventually there'll be Triple H, hopefully, and other people with a more sort of progressive mindset running things. And NXT is still great. I think if you've got NXT as a brand, then who really cares about Raw? If they cancelled Raw tomorrow, I'd be like, well, I don't give a shit. NXT still on. That's all that matters. And so this. But there we are. But WrestleMania 2 nights. I'm looking forward to some of it. I'm glad it's over 2 nights. I couldn't sit through all that in just one. No way. And it's nowhere near strong enough for that kind of thing.
It's like watching the Justice League all over again.
Oh yeah. I'll see that 4-hour cut one of these days. But the previous cuts that I watched on Netflix, I just turned it off halfway through with that bad. Awful.
It is better, but it's so long and convoluted.
Yeah, it's good. He's just going to do a Prince Philip into. He's like, And on that note, on that very topical and newsworthy note, I want to thank my panelists, Rach Capra, who has had problems with the internet, but she was able to contribute in the chat and give us her prediction. So hopefully, think your internet connection will be all right next time, Rach, and it'll be whatever Money in the Bank is the Saturday before then. I'm not sure what the dates are, but just look out for some sort of promotion from us. But thank you also to Vicky and Jason. Thank you to everyone who's been in the chat and contributed. Really appreciate it. Yeah, cheers, Rodders. Really appreciate all your promotion that you've done for me this week, mate. Really good on you, mate. But if you're watching WrestleMania and tonight's SmackDown, or you're catching up on TakeOver and the Hall of Fame and everything else that's associated with WrestleMania weekend, and of course the big event, the 2-night event itself, then enjoy it all. Enjoy whatever you're watching, and we'll catch you for the next pay-per-view predictions. Cheers, everybody, and we'll see you again